poem I'm going to read I wrote back in high school about 5 years ago. I think it's the first somewhat decent poem I wrote. When I first started writing, I wrote about just total crap for 2 years, and this is the first good thing that ever came out. So it's called The Silent Sound of Surrender. Strain the sky and reach for the ground. Surrender showcases such a silent sound. I thought that I felt the stale air from your breath on the back of my neck, but it was merely the deceiving wind from a blood-stained bullet flying by. Our ears are silenced to salvation, for the screeching scream of a hawk in the sinful sky kills a dove's quiet, compliant cry. Our wicked war was no more than a card game, where I was dealt a joker and a broken queen of hearts, while you received a second chance and a spade. I was relentlessly wounded and in desperate need of your persuasive aid, but the enemy's lines you were too busy already attempting to inaudibly invade. While you were by my unstable side, I felt like I was sharing my life with my one true special soulmate. Since you've been gone, I feel like a falling bomb that is about to detonate. Blood and bonds once so thick have transformed into tears so toxic and tender. In the midst of the strident streams of shotguns, we fail to hear the silent sound of surrender. The city that never sleeps is starting to close its weary eyes. All the street lamps on Broadway burn out as the green light in the tainted traffic light permanently dies. My chest has exploded like a landmine. I guess you mindlessly mistook my delicate heart for a tainted hand grenade. This entire time we tried to dodge each other's emotional bullets, but we only ended up digging our own gory graves as we valiantly fought in this corrupted crusade. You erased my remaining rights and my freedom you will disavow. I stand atop the Twin Towers, waving my white flag as they crumble to the frigid ground. Amongst the tragedy and turmoil, my soul silently screams, "Can anyone hear me now?" No one hears a sound. I assumed that I smelled your poisonous perfume in the polluted air, but it was simply the aroma of the grotesque gas chamber you were trying to suffocate me in. Our eyes are blind to redemption, and every time we pray for forgiveness, we only end up committing another selfish sin. Our relationship was nothing less than a board game where you played Connect 4 with the bullet holes in my chest, while I sunk your betraying battleship. I was brutally bruised and beaten, requiring the soft-healing touch from your lethal lips, but on the vine of our freedom on which we carelessly swung on, you were rapidly losing your grip. When we were sharing the same address and bed, I felt like we were floating on that oh-so-comfortable cloud nine. Now that we are alienated and apart, I feel as if I have sacrificed my splendid soulmate for the final time. You threw a hand grenade straight towards my hibernating heart, but I managed to catch your unwanted gift in time and return it back to its rightful sender. As our souls spontaneously combust in the grey infernal flames, the serpents start to silently scream their satanic sounds of surrender. The world that always turns the other cheek is starting to see the truth by looking through the lies and into the livid light. Do not enter and stop signs make permanent homes on every street corner as the red light and the terminal traffic lights vividly ignite. My dreams have exploded like an atomic bomb. It seems that you carelessly killed my feeble future, as if it was the abhorrent enemy. This entire time we tried to pick each other up and off the ground, but we merely ended up tossing one another's petite corpses into surrender's silent and suicidal sea. As your planes collide straight into the lungs of New York City, I will wave goodbye one last time to my former ally. This dove now resides in the back of an artificial ambulance, desperately attempting to repair his broken wing. In the midst of the confusion and corruption, my feeble future sings, "Can anyone in here hear my battle cry?" No one hears a thing. Wave a white flag high in the sky as our towers of tragedy and trust collapse to the frigid ground. Surrender showcases such a silent sound. Surrender showcases such a silent sound. Surrender showcases such a silent sound. Thank you. Once again, if you like what you hear, feel free to check out my MySpace at myspace.com/darkhorse1804. And I have a few shows coming up in Connecticut during the summer at the Space in Hamden and at the Acoustic Cafe in Bridgeport in June. So I have something similar to this, a bunch of bands and stuff opening for me and fellow poets reading. So if you want to come check that out, the tour dates are on my MySpace. So, all right, take care.